to AZAM.
Welcome back. A lot of the new COVID-19 patients, they are younger, between the ages of 25 and 40 years old. And this morning, we're taking a closer look at the young and, well, unafraid and the psychology behind why young people are taking risks in a pandemic. Dr. Amy Serin, neuropsychologist and founder of the Serin Center, joining us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Renee.
You know, it is interesting to see, and a lot of the videos that we've had coming out show those younger people that are gathering with friends and not really doing the whole social distancing part. What is that about?
So it starts with brain development, and young adults are in a really interesting time in their brain development where there's a mismatch between the part of their brain that craves reward and excitement and the part of their brain that can think through consequences. So when we look at this age of, 18 to 25, we expect that these people are going to take more risks. And then beyond that, being male may make you take more risks, having things like ADHD, and also just being fatigued. We all crave some excitement and we're not able to do these things. But to expect young people to act in a way that's contraindicated to how their brain is developing, maybe not where we need to be focusing right now. I think if we've got policies and things that help them obey the rules while their brain catches up with itself, that may be better in preventing some of these things from happening, like all of the hospitalizations now and all of the young people that are contracting COVID.
What about, how does brain chemistry play when you're talking about, buy-in from this age group of whether or not they should be social distancing and wearing masks?
I think just talking to them is not going to be enough, because when you tell them something, their brain is calculating a risk and reward ratio, and it's calculating it in a way that is not the way that an adult's brain would calculate it if somebody were 30 or 40 or 50 years old. So immediately when you talk to somebody about risks, especially risks that aren't salient to them, something that's far away, or something that might not happen for a year or two, or something that is like, well, if you get this, you might be okay, but it might hurt somebody else. It's really hard for them to understand that and then stop their behavior based on just that understanding.
Well, for those of us that are maybe wearing masks, doing the social distancing, how do you cope when you see others that are reacting differently? Maybe even people that don't believe in coronavirus, think it's a hoax.
I think that the only thing we have control over right now is ourselves. And I think all of us globally are more stressed out than normal. And that would add a layer of stress that would not only kind of make things harder for us, but also make us more susceptible to having the virus hit us hard if we were to get it. So what I tell people is to just kind of take a deep breath and try to minimize the frustration. We've never been able to control what everybody else does. And if we can just focus on our own health and happiness and the health and happiness of loved ones around us, I think that we're putting our focus in the right place.
And when do you know? I mean, stress levels are up huge. Stress among families, stress, with job loss. All of these stressors really plaguing people right now. How do you know when it's too much and you should seek professional help?
Yeah, I address that in my book. It's called The Stress Switch, where we all have these switches and we have a default mode between like a 0 and 10. And if most of us are at a 2 or a 3 generally, right now, some of us are waking up at a level 5 or a 6. And it certainly is a problem, because besides contracting the disease or not, all other illnesses are going to be higher, and irritation is going to be up, relationships are going to be strained. And I think that what we want to do again is just focus in on what we have control over ourselves. Give ourselves some mulligans. Know that we might be more irritated, we might be more irrational right now in our stressed out states, and just be kind and helpful to the people around us. That's really all we can do right now.
Wow, kindness and avoiding irrationality, and boy, great suggestions. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.